Hey readers, Jewel Quinlan here, and I have a book I want to recommend to you guys. It's called Girl Abroad, and it's by Elle Kennedy. She is a New York Times bestselling author. And I just discovered her. I was in the bookstore browsing for something to read and stumbled upon this one. I bought one of her other books as well called The Dare. But this one, Girl Abroad, is the one I wanted to recommend to you today because it was a great read. And it came out in February. On Amazon, it is hanging strong at 4-star reviews and it has like over 5,000 reviews already. So check it out. When you get a chance, it's a contemporary romance and it's like a coming of age sort of romance. So the heroine, Abbey Bly, is 19 years old and she goes to study abroad in London. And I love that because I was an exchange student twice myself growing up. And just the experiences you have and the growing you do when you're away from all of your home support groups is pretty amazing. It's almost like you live this whole different life while you're away. And then when you come home, like everything's standing still, been standing still the whole time. But I love it because it's a wonderful adventure to experience another culture. But Abby Bly is interesting to me. The character, first of all, she's very interesting because her father's a famous rock star, sort of retired rock star, and he's overprotective father. So I love that element of it because I'm super close to my dad. And so she kind of goes to study abroad for the adventure, but also to spread her wings, so to speak. And there's an element of like forbidden love in this novel, which I loved. And it's kind of like forbidden love, but it's also sort of a love triangle, if you will. So the first love interest is one of the roommates, and he's a rugby player, super hot. And they have a rule about not fraternizing in the household because she has three roommates and they're all guys. And obviously, that's something she was keeping secret from her dad, being the overprotective father that he is. And then the other love interest was so the roommate Ray is forbidden fruit in the house. And then the other love interest is the boyfriend of a friend in the circle of friends that she has. And so when she meets him, he has a girlfriend and he's a musician. So another no-no. But I love it because this main heroine, she seems pretty independent and pretty confident in herself, and she has good boundaries, I think, because as she's sort of working things out between getting to know these two love interests, she does have some good boundaries. Um, and I also love how she gets to know, both of them at the same time, because how can you make a choice if you don't know either one? So that's pretty cool. Also, there's an element of what her work she's doing in school. There's some sort of like a mystery element to her research project. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it comes into play later in the book. And it's really interesting to follow her on that journey. Part of my favorite moments too are how she gets to know the grumpy librarian as she's doing her research and that little side relationship that blossoms as he thaws out to her. He's kind of like the cranky librarian. So that's one of my favorite parts of the book. And another favorite part is when her dad shows up in London. Of course, he shows up eventually, right? Um, worried about her. So, and that's pretty awesome. But no, I recommend this one. I love this author's style of writing. And I'm definitely going to read more by her. I think I mentioned at the beginning, I read another book called The Dare, and I'll do a video on that as well. It's not related to this book. I believe this one is a standalone. Um, that's what the cover looks like. And yeah, highly recommend it if you're looking for something to read and you like contemporary romance, and all those things I mentioned to you, then pick this one up. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.